The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The empty seat. Who was actually just that, an empty chair in your office because you couldn't find someone to fill it. So it just sat there costing you money with all its fancy ergonomic features. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can make it easy to fill that seat with the right candidate, with nearly 60% of businesses finding someone to interview in the first week alone. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guards setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals continue on ESPN and ABC.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel. All right, we are continuing our familial deep dive of Hollywood dynasties. In this case, Hollywood siblings, because we're talking about the Fanning sisters, Elle and Dakota. And here to join me, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing really good. One thing I found really fascinating in going through this is just how long these sisters have actually been acting.
Well, to be fair, they probably started very young.
Very, very young, yes. But that's the thing. Like, you take a look at their filmography, and there are some big name films in there, huge films, and they keep going. And that there's something to be said about the longevity of their career, especially starting out at a young age. And I think, too, the environment, the Hollywood environment, maybe a little bit more accepting, because you remember like back in like the 80s and then in the 90s and child stars, and then they would hit like a bump in the road, whether it be through alcohol or drugs or whatever. You don't really hear that about the Fanning sisters. They've pretty much had an even keel, at least from outward appearances, an even keel on their lives and their career. And I think that's something to be commended.
Absolutely, especially with the pressures of Hollywood.
Oh, it can't be easy at all.
But their parents clearly knew what they were doing.
Right.
I mean, they clearly got, excellent, I would have to say, excellent agents and to land these roles.
Yeah, career and life advice along the way. So the Fanning sisters definitely know how to make a fantastic Hollywood career, which gives us a fantastic Hollywood filmography to go through. So 3 movies each. A keep, a watch, and a pass. The keep is one that we hold in high regard. The watch is one that, even if it's on TV with credits, we're still going to watch it. With commercials, we'll still watch it. And the pass is one that nothing about the Fanning sisters, but we just might want to pass on the film. All right. So, Carrie, let's get it started. Your keep film.
You mentioned Hollywood a lot in the opening, and I am not picking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. As a keeper.
You're not picking that?
I'm not.
Who are you?
I know, right? Instead, you know what? We spoke about the Baldwins last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I am remiss because I missed talking about an Alec Baldwin film.
Okay.
One of my favorite silly Alec Baldwin roles. And when I say silly, I'm talking about the Cat in the Hat silly. And Sally, played by Dakota. Like, come on. Mike Myers was absolutely perfect as the cat in the hat. And little Sally, well, boy, oh boy, she tried. She tried to keep everything under control while her mom was out of the house, and that cat should not be about. But anyway, madness happened. Alec Baldwin. Come on, can we talk about Alec Baldwin for a moment?
I thought we did last week.
Yeah, but this is my second chance.
Okay.
To make things right. He was so perfectly perfect to play both sides of his character. You know, he could be the prim and proper and very serious businessman. And then, you know, when the doors are closed, he lets go of his belt and is walking around in his boxers and drinking beer and looking a little scruffy, a little worse for wear.
See,
so.
you say all that in a negative light, and I just look at that as goals.
Anyway,
that version of Alec Baldwin is goals to me.
Right. It was a very fun movie, and I very much enjoyed it. So it's a keeper.
Did we watch the same movie?
I know.
It's my pass.
Oh, really?
It is my pass. Now, don't get me wrong. Dakota Fanning is really good in it. And I did like Alec Baldwin in it too, because, yeah, I saw that sloth in a chair and I tipped my hat to him in that. But still, everything else is utter nightmare fuel.
Oh, come on. If anything, for the censored scene.
No.
So funny.
Okay, but. There isn't enough cocaine in the world to keep up with what this movie was putting on celluloid. We covered this movie on the show when Lyle Robichaud was on. And oh my God, I don't know if I recovered. Like, there were moments in the film that were kind of fun, but it was just like every single loud, screaming, obnoxious YouTuber's channel turned to 11, and that's one more than 10.
Oh, come on.
No,
it was fun.
The problem is with the Cat in the Hat, and it's not the Cat in the Hat's fault, is that the Grinch did it better. It took a Dr. Seuss film, put it in live action, and did it better. And then they're like, well, it worked great. Jim Carrey, the Grinch, Dr. Seuss, it all worked good. So let's get another Canadian comedian and let's take another Dr. Seuss story and let's f it up, because that's what they did. And I feel bad for Mike Myers, because I do believe he was the right guy for the role, but the script just did not. It was like the worst Saturday Night Live sketches thrown in and amped up on Red Bull.
Harsh.
I know. Dakota Fanning was good.
Yes, she was.
This is not about Dakota Fanning at all. This is about everything else in that film.
Her brother too. He was great. He was so much fun because the two of them had a great way of playing off of each other. You know, he was mischief and she was very proper, just like Mom.
I mean, I love the angle that Dakota gave to Sally. I really, really do. But it's just one of those things where I couldn't get behind anything. And the brother didn't help. I'm sorry. Didn't. And this is script and insanity. Nothing to do with the actors. But I tell you, my keep film is a Dakota Fanning movie. Talking about, and I know I've talked about it on the show before, but holy crap. The early 2000s, Tony Scott was putting out such fantastic movies. And we talked about 2005's Domino on this show before. A movie that should be covered because it does qualify. But another 2000s era Tony Scott directed film was the remake of Man on Fire starring Denzel Washington. This is a must own in your DVD collection. A young Dakota Fanning in this, like very young Dakota Fanning in this, plays the daughter of higher up, if you will, a well-to-do person kidnapped, held for ransom. Denzel Washington is the bodyguard that was hired to protect the family and now does everything that he can to rescue the young girl. It is peak Tony Scott early 2000s directing style. There's a whole lot of flashing. There's a whole lot of overlays. It is, there was something about the early 2000s filming that just took all the potential effects that you could throw at the screen and somehow made it work. Man on Fire definitely is in that category. I freaking love this version. Now, I haven't seen the original Man on Fire. I have nothing to compare it to, which is probably why this film qualifies, because people were like, well, I saw the original and the original's always better. Maybe it's not. I liked Tony Scott's directing. I thought Denzel Washington was awesome. Dakota Fanning did exactly what you needed her to do, and that was be good in this.
I agree. This is the version that I've seen. I haven't seen the original, but this was a great movie.
Yeah, and we can talk about it on It's Not That Bad because it qualifies.
I'm surprised to hear that.
I feel like we need to go on a Tony Scott run at some point and just knock off Man on Fire and Domino, because both of those films from that era, they feel almost like directorial and post-production spiritual movies, like almost sibling movies, if you will. It was a style back then, and I was all in for the style.
Expedia and Visit Scotland invite you to come step into centuries of history that await in Scotland. Castles steeped in legend walk along cobblestone streets. Come share the warmth of stories passed down through generations. This is a place with a past that is fully present today and all yours to explore. Plan your Scottish escape today at expedia.com/Visit Scotland.
Where is Daredevil? I'm right here. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated.
We're gonna take this city back.
Over medicated.
In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Now, for my watch pick, Carrie, you will remember when we did a real long total binge of the entire Stranger Things series.
Yes.
We watched every single season and every single episode in 1 week. That was how we spent Christmas. Like, hunkered down, ignore the outside world. It's just you and me and Stranger Things.
And snacks.
There were lots and lots of snacks. But there was a film that came out years prior, written and directed by J.J. Abrams and starring Elle Fanning, that kind of fits in that same mold. And we watched it. Okay, let me rephrase this here. I watched it. Carrie was in the car asleep because when we did see it, we went to a drive-in movie theater on one of those nights where they played 4 movies in one night. You paid one price and you got 4 movies in one night. And it was fantastic. But this was the one that Carrie fell asleep for. Super 8.
Oh, yes. I did.
But this is the kind of movie where if you are a fan of Stranger Things, or if you are a fan of movies like The Goonies from back in the 80s, Super 8 is going to kind of lean into that Spielberg-esque kind of kids in a small town go on an adventure kind of thing. So basically, you have this group of kids that are using a Super 8 camera to make a little homemade zombie movie. Like, totally like we would have if we had a Super 8 camera back in the day. But when they're filming it, they actually capture a train-on-truck collision and then some otherworldly things in the cargo are there. And all of a sudden, they find themselves in the middle of just this wrong place, wrong time with a Super 8 camera. It was a really, really cool film. If you're nostalgic for that 80s kids go on an 80s adventure kind of thing, which is kind of why Stranger Things worked too, because it did kind of lean into that Stand By Me, Goonies kind of vibe. But this was, I enjoyed it. It's not my keep pick. And it's not one that I think I've gone back to watch since that drive-in movie theater, which you dutifully slept through, but I don't blame you because that was a fantastic night of movies. The first Thor film. I can't remember which Transformers it was. It was either, I think it might have been Dark of the Moon, Super 8, and then Source Code. Source Code was the last film of the evening. The sun was coming up as the film was finishing. And I tell you right now, Source Code was the best film that night.
I do remember that one.
Yeah.
I started to wake up and watched it. And it's a good thing I woke up when I did, so I was able to drive home. But the sun was coming up. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We've been watching movies all night. Well, you were.
Yeah, I was.
Slept.
Yeah.
I napped.
And then we went home and then we slept for as long as we could. I miss those nights, though. There's something about the drive-in movie theater that just screams warm nostalgia feelings. Like we should check to see if there's one of those nights again this summer, because that would be fun. All right, over to you for your watch pick.
I am watching Maleficent with Elle. Yeah, she plays Aurora. Next to Angelina Jolie, who, I mean, come on, any movie about I don't like people. I mean, that just takes us back to COVID times, doesn't it?
Right?
No, but all joking aside, it's a really great movie. Of course, Disney, right? So it always has that happy ending. Everything ties up beautifully. But yeah, someone's heart turns to pure stone. And then through the help of this young girl, justice is renewed, feelings of, I don't know, camaraderie and liking the human life and human nature again. It comes around.
I get that.
Thanks to Elle.
Now, I'll admit, I haven't actually watched either this or Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, but here's another pair of movies in the same universe where we can actually talk about both of them.
Oh.
So the first Maleficent film sits at a 54% tomatometer, and then the second one, Mistress of Evil, sits at 40%. Both are available on Disney Plus. So, I mean, that's a road I wouldn't mind going down. I mean, Angelina Jolie is, from what I can see in the trailers, whatnot, fantastic in it. You also have Juno Temple in there. You actually have, I guess it's young Aurora, as played by Angelina Jolie's daughter, Vivian Jolie. So, pretty freaking cool. And you have Ella Purnell, I guess, as a young Maleficent. So fans of Fallout have something to take a look at as well. All right, back over to you, because my pass is gone. Your keep was my pass. So, Carrie, you're closing this out on this one. Your pass pick from the Fanning sisters.
I think I'm going to surprise you with this, but I can explain.
Okay.
So a big part of my childhood, of course, was watching cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons, rushing home from school for the after school, block of cartoons before dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And Astro Boy was one of my favorite cartoon series.
Oh God, now the theme song is stuck in my head.
Right?
Astro Boy, Astro. Okay, go on.
So one would think that when they made a movie, a feature film length movie, that I would be all over it. And I was looking forward to it. And I mean, come on, the casting, Kristen Bell, Eugene Levy, Donald Sutherland, Charlize Theron, and Samuel M.F. Jackson.
And did we forget to mention Nick Cage?
And oh my God, okay, yeah,
Cage.
Of course, Nicolas Cage. And, Astro Boy voiced by Freddie Highmore. You would think that I would have liked it. But to me, it just wasn't the same.
Didn't hit?
It didn't hit the same. Maybe it was the nostalgia. Maybe I was expecting more. But I was so excited when I heard that they're making the movie. They're making a movie of my childhood favorite, right? Like Astro Boy was my favorite. And yeah, the theme song would stick with me. But it just didn't it didn't sit
Didn't
right.
do it?
No, it didn't do it. Didn't fill the void.
I mean, it's got to be really, really hard to, to jump on that kind of nostalgia and, make something that stands out, because like this happens, right? This absolutely happens where you have a nostalgic property and people remember it fondly, and then they try to bring it back. And I have this thing where it's like, I want to go see the film and I'm totally in for it. And it's like, oh, by the way, it's going to suck. And then you feel worse because you're like, oh crap. It's like, I wanted to like this. I really wanted to like this. And then you get there and it's like, oh, like that's kind of what I fear about now with every single Transformers film, especially anything that has Michael Bay listed, right? You get the Bayhem in there and there's a problem there, right? I'm sure when the Gem film came out, you were like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then we watched it. We're like, yeah, maybe not so good.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, Elle voicing the character of Grace, she played it well. Everyone played their part well. And it was not a knock at all on the movie. The movie itself does qualify for It's Not That Bad. It's
I'm sure it does.
It's sitting at 51% with a 50% popcorn meter. So it's really right down the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they did the smart thing in making that a, an animated film, like a CGI animated film, because I don't know if a live action Astro Boy is the way to go. I don't know how that would look.
I don't think they could have pulled it off.
Well, no, because Astro Boy had like pointy head hair and ran around in his underwear and freaking rocket boots, and that's it.
But they even stayed true to, depending on which side he's talking to, his little hair spike would, shift. I mean, that was really, a nod to the cartoon.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad movie, and I'm not passing on it because it was bad. It's like you said, it just didn't fill the expectation.
It made you rethink the nostalgia you had for Astro Boy. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are looking at Masters of the Universe as it's getting ready to come out this summer with this same kind of trepidation. I mean, the trailer looks fun as heck, but I'm sure there are major He-Man fans that are like, okay, don't screw this up. Don't ruin my childhood.
I'm looking forward to the Acme movie.
Oh, God, yes.
I think that's going to be fun.
Coyote vs. Acme, the movie that almost wasn't. Thank God we're actually going to get to watch that. I hope it doesn't suck. I'm sure it'll be fine. Please let it be fine. All right, Gary, let's remind our listeners what your keep, watch, and pass picks are for movies starring a Fanning sister.
I am keeping Cat in the Hat with Dakota Fanning. I'm watching Maleficent with Elle Fanning and passing on Astro Boy. And it's not because of Elle. It's not because of any of the cast. It's just did not meet my expectations for my nostalgic heart for Astro Boy.
All right. Well, I am keeping Man on Fire starring Dakota Fanning. I am watching Super 8 with Elle Fanning, and I'm passing on The Cat in the Hat with Dakota. Gary, thank you so much for this. And to you, our dear listeners, well, you guys know the drill. If there's a topic that you want us to cover on Keep Watch Pass, or a movie that you want us to cover on It's Not That Bad, like all the other movies we were talking about during this episode, it is up on social media at Not That Badcast, or go to our website, notthatbadcast.com. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to the website, because when we put out a new episode, you get notified by email immediately. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
300 Favorite Albums with James Campion.
I don't think there's an album I know better front to back. I learned how to play guitar to a lot of these songs.
If I could pick one record to hand someone and say, this is what it feels like to be a woman, it would be this record.
You know, the engineer that was recording the album for us was a novice engineer. He was really the janitor.
The first half of these sessions for the album were totally improvisatory in the sense that they went into the studio and just dealt with whatever happened.
There was space that was left for these listeners to kind of discover it for themselves. That they would say, yeah, my parents listened to it, but I had to build my own relationship to it.
Happiness, good living, peace, love, rock and roll. I just feel like this album is such a wonderful translation of that concept.
People understood they were in a world historical moment, and it felt like it was going to last forever. In fact, the infinite spaces that they explored in The Giant Now is part of what made that explosion so huge.